Support for exploring the American spirit is provided by Sassy Shears, Riverside Salon, Spa, and Boutique, where clients can spend an hour or an entire day. Hair, nails, skincare, and massage for adults and children. More online at sassyshears.com.
Hello, I'm Mary Parks. American spirit. Say those words and many images come to mind. You may think of heroic acts in times of tragedy, a person or an entire family that overcomes adversity. In reality, selfless acts by ordinary individuals that help others take place every day in every part of our country. They aren't likely to make the headlines, but their impact is just as real, and the effect on our communities is just as powerful. At Exploring the American Spirit, we're going to take a look at some of the phenomenal accomplishments done by people who saw a need and found a way to meet it. I'll be your guide on this incredible journey, so pull up your chair and relax as we explore the American spirit. In the mid-1990s, Jaci and Eric Hasemeyer were an all-American family. They both worked, had 3 kids, a modest home, and a couple of dogs. But that all changed because of a chance encounter with a boy named Billy.
This is a nice street, isn't it?
Oh, and quiet?
This was perfect. When we decided to become foster parents, we were living in a little tract home in Grand Terrace.
Fast forward to 2016. Hasemeyer now lives in a sprawling home with a white picket fence on a quiet cul-de-sac in Southern California. She's an educator, wife, and mother who just happens to have raised close to 50 children.
I went into teaching because I wanted to give back and do things for kids. And while I was teaching at Redlands Unified School District as a PE enrichment teacher, I'd given away a coupon for being a good sport, which was my what I did every day at the end of class to encourage kids to be good sports. And with that came a free skating ticket to a local skating rink. Well, after class, when the kids left, the little boy, I still can remember what he looks like. He was 10. His name was Billy. I don't remember his last name, but he came up to me and he said, "Mrs. Hasemeyer, I can't use this ticket. You might as well give it to somebody else." And I questioned him, "Why not?" And he said, "Recently I was placed in a group home. My mom's in prison. I don't know where my dad is. And there weren't enough foster homes, so I'm living in this group home and we don't do things like this. I won't be able to use it, so just give it to somebody else." He was crying and he put it back in my hand and he walked away with his head down, and it broke my heart.
Jaci never learned what became of Billy, but he's the reason so many children have called her house on Dowshy Lane home.
You know, this is a great place to raise kids. I mean, you can hear the creek down there. It's got plenty of room for the kids to play. We put in a swimming pool. Some of the kids had asthma, and we found out that, swimming was very good for it, so it helped heal them.
35 years ago, did you ever dream this is what your life would be like?
No way. No
15
way.
kids and...
No way. When Eric and I got married, if somebody would have told us this, I think we would have run.
Perhaps it's the rural setting that's made the Hasemeyer home so inviting and a place where dozens of children have thrived. You'll find roosters, egg-laying chickens, 5 dogs, 3 cats, a goldfish, and after school, Indiana Jones.
Jonah was born as a foster child, failure to thrive. He was in a special home with a feeding tube. We met him when he was about a year old because we had adopted another boy from that home. And Jonah's born with
He had heart surgery, you said?
heart surgery. He was born with some deformities on his arm, his body. He's also autistic, and that's where the Indiana Jones comes in. And he has gotten really good on the whip.
Now almost 17, Jonah is healthy and happy with what he calls his forever mom.
So I gave up my teaching position, and my husband gave up a successful position as a stockbroker and became a marriage and family therapist because we needed the tools to help these kids.
Year after year, the Hasemeyers took in children of all ages, ethnicities, and under any circumstances. Sometimes it was even in the middle of the night, and once in a while the outcome wasn't easy.
Well, heartbreaking is definitely the right word for it. At 3 years old, they took him from me, screaming, "Mommy, Mommy," as a social worker came and took him because the judge placed him back because he was the dad. And that was heartbreaking. And so you know that you're going to possibly go through that. And we knew that because our commitment was to take in kids that were older, that were sibling sets, that people wouldn't necessarily take. And our commitment was that once they came to our home, if they did not get returned to a parent or a grandparent or a relative, which is what they normally try to do, that they would never lose their family again. And our commitment was to adopt them.
And they did, 10 times. The Hasemeyers called their place the forever home.
As adults, we felt like we had to take the risk and take that pain on for them. Because if we didn't, what was the outcome for them? It was basically a death sentence almost.
They've added on to their home 3 times to make room for yet another child, doing all of the work themselves.
We all learned how to drywall. Those were fun times because we had drywall fights and, it was fun. And it was really awesome for our kids to have an experience of enlarging their house and making bedrooms and doing things. This room we're sitting in, we did. You figure out ways to make things work. We hardly ever go out to eat. We cook at home from scratch, but it's better for families. We sit around the table and eat dinner every night. And so it's kind of like people did in the old days. You had large families and everybody pitches in. Right. And that's the way we did it. We buy old used cars, and that's what we drive. We get around with a 15-passenger van that we've had. It's almost has 200,000 miles on it. And that's been our van for, I think we've had it 15 years now, and we bought it used. So, when there's a will, there's a way.
7 of the 13 Hasemeyer children still live at home, 6 sons and 1 daughter.
What is it like being the only other girl in the house other than Mom?
I don't like it. I get lonely, and there's no one to take your problems to besides her. Not that that's a problem, but sometimes you want a sister
to hang out with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever not get along with your siblings?
Oh yeah, all the time. We fight a lot, but in the end we all end up coming back together and being friends.
And what do you disagree about?
Whoa. Sports, a lot of things like that, food. We argue a lot and fight.
People outside of this home might look at this situation and say, wow, you are one lucky young lady.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do.
Tell me your thoughts on that.
It makes me feel special because it makes me feel like I have something, not necessarily that they don't, but it makes me if they don't have a family, I feel bad for them, but it makes me feel special because I have one. So it makes me feel special.
What do you want to do someday when you grow up?
I want to be a nurse.
Really? That's hard work.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I want to work with babies that are born early, premature. So I love babies.
That takes a special person to be a nurse.
Being the only girl does have its advantages, like a room of her own.
I have a goal for track. It is I want to try and get into the 2-minute marker for the 800. and be on top board of California. So
That's
that's going to take a lot of
cool.
training, but I want to do that. So
You can do it.
yeah.
Wow.
The Hasemeyers joke their family photo requires a wide-angle lens. Their children range from 10 to 28 years old, including 5 teenagers. The youngest is Levi, who came to the Hasemeyers as an infant, needing facial surgery and a little extra care.
This kid is like the happiest, littlest cutie. Every time I see that little surfer dude there, that thing, every time I look at that and he's dancing, it makes me think of him and smile, because he does that all the time. He's just got this happy, I'm just gonna go with it attitude, you know? I'm so proud of this little guy.
All your children do.
I know they do. They do.
Joel is the eldest of the biological Hasemeyer children.
My mom is a very giving person. She's a very passionate person. She loves people, and she loves to love people. It's just something that I've seen through her throughout my whole life. She just loves to give to people, and I think that that's really what fulfills her, is just being a person that people feel like they know they can go to if they need help, if they need someone to talk to, if they need someone to just kind of be there for them. I think my mom just really loves to be that person.
There's been several times when we sit and we see him playing, and I'll just ask myself, where would they be? You know, what would they be doing? Because I can watch them having fun, and I can watch them interacting with each other. We're not perfect. I mean, we're far from perfect. We do make a lot of mistakes as we go along each day, and we learn and we grow and we progress. But I get a sense of fulfillment to have them here, and I know that if they hadn't been here, I don't know where they would be.
That attitude of giving and commitment is perhaps why a national television audience chose Jaci Hasemeyer as the 2015 Mother of the Year. But right after that national TV appearance, this Mom of the Year, who had given so much to others, was diagnosed with breast cancer.
My husband and I are a great team. We're there for each other. We've always been there for each other. And our family, we've taught our kids to be there for each other. And we have a community of family and friends that have surrounded us during this whole journey and process. Our church has been amazing.
It was an aggressive cancer, one that meant lengthy chemotherapy treatments and surgery. Each Monday, after the kids went to school, Jaci left for City of Hope, never once losing her sense of humor or determination while faced with a life-threatening journey. One Monday, she decided to wear her husband's camouflage clothing.
My kids thought it was awesome. They loved it. And so the very next time I had chemo, it was my 11-year-old's birthday. And I couldn't be there for him, and it really made me sad. So he loves Iron Man, and a couple years ago, all my kids dressed up as the Avengers, and were really into costumes anyway. You know, they like to do that kind of stuff. So without telling him, I put together an Avenger costume, and I put it on. My friend took me, and I have them take pictures of me, and I sent it to him, and I sent it to my kids, and I said, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, and I love you. And he loved it. And so I thought, you know, I need to go in and see the kids that are in the cancer unit is right next to where I'm getting chemo. And I thought, what about those kids, you know? Who's, you know, doing something to make their day feel special? And I thought, I'm dressing up like this, maybe I can go in and, you know, put a smile on their face, make them feel like, you know, if they're little, they might even think I'm the real deal, and that'll make their day. And their parents, this is so hard for them. How can I help them too?
Jaci found a way. For 16 Mondays, she dressed as a different superhero, trying to bring cancer patients a little joy.
But the older kids, I let them know. I tell them, I'm a patient, and I'm going to be having chemo in a few minutes. But I just really want you to know that people care. I've got friends praying for you. And I've now even started to bring like $5 cards from, you know, Juice It Up or somewhere, something that'll be fun for them to have. And I asked the parents and I asked the kids, can I pray for you? And you know, when people are going through hard times, I don't know what their faith is, but everyone wants to have hope and believe they're going to be okay. I actually look forward to going to chemo now. I look forward to the fact that I can go and see these kids. I don't know who I'm going to see. Am I going to see some of the same ones? And I know when I walk out of there, I've made a difference.
7 months after her diagnosis, Jaci Hasemeyer was declared cancer-free and given a great prognosis. Sharing her love and her home with so many others is an amazing example of parenting with purpose and a true American spirit. Many people believe that hunger only affects a certain area, a certain portion of our population, when in fact, hunger exists in every community across the nation. 1 in 6 people experience food insecurity. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. That alarming fact prompted a trio of California art teachers to rally their students into making a difference by raising awareness about families who don't have enough to eat and at the same time raising money to fight hunger. Before there was plastic, Pyrex, or styrofoam, there was clay. Handmade pottery gave people time to share their lives and stories. Gavin is among a handful of high school students working to turn this wedge of recycled clay into an impressive piece of pottery that will also make a statement about hunger in his community. Gavin's inspiration came from art teacher Sean Roll.
There's a lot of people who just need a helping hand, and the food bank is available and able to do that. So I think it's a great program, and we want to help and support it.
Replacing hunger with hope is as simple as watching something handmade form from nothing. Working side by side at a pottery wheel, the student project takes shape, and the ideas, just like the clay, spin into something really great they will call the Empty Bowls Dinner.
Well, you know, I found a grassroots organization, emptybowls.org, that puts together this amazing thing, and their main criteria is they want us to put on whatever fundraiser charity you want to do. Their major criterion is that it goes to a food-based charity, and I felt that Second Harvest Food Bank was a great charity for us to be able to support here from King High School.
For 2 months, Sean Roll's ceramic students sat at the wheel, throwing pottery as it's called. Using recycled clay and donated glazes from nearby Ramona High School, the empty bowls are kiln-fired and cleaned.
Hi, my name is Kiara. This project it's been really fun. We've been working on it for a really long time, and it's for a charity case, so it was a good cause, so it's really fun. It's good.
Okay, and tell me about the bowl that you made.
Well, I didn't just make one. We all made like a bunch, and we didn't just do a specific one. We would like hit it in the wheel, and then some other people glazed it, so it's all together. It's all a group thing.
My name is Mason, and this project is just to raise awareness for hunger in the Inland Empire. It's just pretty much we get a bowl, fill with soup, and give them a breadstick, and then, yeah.
And what was your role in all of this? Did you make any of the bowls, or you help serving?
I made some bowls, and then I'm just here to help serve and tell people where to go.
For some students, though, the project really hit home.
My name's Leda, and I was really excited about this project because as a person who's grown up very poor and needing like something like the food bank, so it just made me really excited to be able to do that. And I love being an art student. So I didn't actually get to make any of the bowls, but I did try and, put together everything else for it to make as good as can possibly be,
And what else goes into a project like this?
It's a lot of work because we have to figure out, donors, sponsors, where we're getting everything, how we want to set it up, how many bowls we need, how many people we're going to need, stuff like that.
Hunger has been a theme for students in drawing and painting classes here. They created all of the promotional materials, planned every last detail, and art design students created a T-shirt with the Empty Bowls phrase and logo.
So I'm Joyce Hatzidakis, and I am the chairwoman for drawing and painting and the rest of the department. And Sean, who is our ceramics teacher, came to me and said he wanted to do this because it's a kind of ceramics started thing. And I said, how can the rest of us get involved? So they're doing the bowls. My kids did some artwork that we're going to auction, and here we go. We'll see how it goes.
And this is to raise awareness for hunger?
Awareness and money. So yeah, both. And we're hoping if it goes well, next year the other schools said they may join us and we may do a big district-wide event at the Riverside Art Museum. So very exciting.
You're an educator. You see a lot of faces come through the classrooms. Talk to us about the face of hunger these days.
Interesting. That's what we started our concept for our art pieces. And the things the kids knew and didn't know was very telling. They knew people were hungry, but they didn't know who those people were. And so we did some research and we talked about, we looked up how many people in America don't have enough food, how many people our food bank serves, and they were amazed by the results. They didn't know that there were that many people in Riverside struggling. And so they were really moved to want to help, which was nice.
Perhaps just as exciting, students realizing their art is making a difference.
I'm Luke. I helped make some of these bowls for this fundraiser tonight. Some of these are made through like the slab process, and you make slabs and form it around a form, and then other these are made on the wheel, so you'll spin them and throw them, and they'll be like more like smooth, and you'll have a more like circular shape on the outside. But yeah, there's different ways to throw it, and yeah.
And the colors are really cool. Who picks those?
That's a process we do. It's called glazing. It's like a dipping in series and different amounts of little slips and stuff, and then you'll fire them, and then that's where the colors come from.
And you know, best of all, it benefits the local food bank. Do you think people really, truly are hungry nowadays?
Yeah, definitely. Before this project, we talked about it, and Mr. Roll is very adamant about it. Same with Mr. Mugg, telling us about all the stories about, hey, people are out there and people are starving, and this is really helping them and helping the community.
One classroom over, they are prepping baskets to hold dozens of breadsticks that will complement all of those warm bowls of soup.
My name's Jacinda, and we're out here doing this project to help feed the hungry. It's to bring awareness just in our own community, but for everyone else outside of our community.
Okay, and what did you do? What's your role in all of this?
My role is a volunteer. I'm helping feed people, obviously, the soup. I made a part of the bowls that we have in there, and obviously the setup of getting it all put together.
At dusk, hungry customers begin arriving, each chatting about which unique bowl to get for their $20 donation. Each bowl is filled with a hearty ladle of homemade soup. The goal, to raise $5,000.
This is going to benefit not only our students because they're learning how to plan, they're learning how to design, they're learning how to communicate. All the proceeds are going to the Second Harvest Food Bank for those people who don't always have food.
Here in the Golden State, 16.2% of the population are food insecure. That translates to more than 6 million people. That's higher than the national rate. This map of California reflects the most food insecure regions. The darkest green areas mean 30% and above of the population don't have enough to eat. Top counties with the highest food insecurity rates include Imperial, Yuba, Lake, Siskiyou, and Merced. Yet the average cost of a meal is just $2.80. Judith Vales works with seniors at a nonprofit center.
The median actually versus average Social Security, annual Social Security payment in 2011 was recorded at $12,500, give or take. The basic needs, living expense for the Riverside County area that same period of time was $22,500. That leaves a deficit, a gap of $10,000. So a $10,000 gap, you are not sustaining basic living needs. And you're having to supplement, you're having to be creative with regards to what you do purchase, what you don't. And like you said, pets become involved in the situation. There are many food pantries throughout the community, including one here at the center.
Like most days, about 75 hot lunches will be served here, a small but mighty effort in preventing senior hunger. Volunteer Judith has been helping feed seniors for 3 decades.
Okay, we'll wait a few minutes until some more people come in.
Well, good. Then I can ask you, why do you do this? Why are you giving back like this?
I'm a nurse at night. I'm an LVN, and then because I care about people. I've been with the seniors for 35 years, and I started volunteering here, and then they saw how quick I was, so they retained my services.
Awesome.
Yeah. We all have to help each other. That's my motto.
Just as hunger knows no age, neither does fighting it. We all have a role to play in solving this problem. Feeding America food banks and food pantries in your neighborhood always welcome volunteers. We hope you felt the time you invested in watching today's story was worthwhile. It's a privilege for us to bring you these examples of the American spirit. Some will touch and inspire you more than others, but they all in their own way contribute to the fiber and well-being of our communities. We are humbled by the people we meet and are always amazed at what they can accomplish, often by mere grit, determination, and perseverance. That's the American spirit. Join us next time for another stop on our journey exploring the American spirit. I'm Mary Parks.